That is loud. Okay. Okay. Well, that was loud. Well, hello there, all my lovely Sailor Scouts, and welcome back to another exciting video on this channel. Yes, I'm finally putting a video on this channel. I have the window open right now, so please excuse extra noise from outside. But yeah, this is gonna be a chatty kind of video, an update kind of video right now while we play Sailor Moon Drops. I found this game and I thought it'd be really cool to play while we kind of have a little chat, so let's get into it. Play. Let's turn that down, right down. Okay. Yeah, so, wait 1 minute. Episode 1. I'm not sure if people want me to read this or not. Luna! This is a lot like how it starts, like at the beginning of like her whole journey. Like this reminds me squarely of like episode 1 of the anime. I punish you. Do you want to skip the tutorial of the basic rules? That's not. We won't skip it. We won't skip it. But hi guys. Hi, all my lovely Sailor Scouts. How are all of you doing? Yeah, so this channel is not dead. This is like the first video I've put on this channel for, I'm going to say, about a year, because it's taken me a year to move. I have no internet connection. I'm trying to get this video to work. Like, to make this video has been really, it's really sad if I told you guys the fact. I'm not gonna lie, this is like my 3rd time doing this video, because the first time it was editing issues. Like, I re-recorded on my phone, like doing like this whole like game talking thing. I would record it, I would go into edit just to do something. The editing software I was using on my phone wouldn't let me upload it. I'm like, oh, okay, well, what else do we, what can I do? So we just clear the stage. Basically, by what we just seen, it's basically like your standard like matching Bejeweled game. It's your standard game like that. It's very much like Bejeweled, but Sailor Moon themed. She's so cute. But the thing is like I'm saying, the software I was using, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get back on track. The software I was using would not let me upload it onto YouTube. So I'm like, okay, let's redo this. I redid the whole thing with different software. This time, same freaking problem. Would not let me upload it to YouTube. So I'm like deleting all these apps and stuff. And automatically when like my phone wanted me to update and stuff to like get it to upload to YouTube. So I'm like, okay, let's delete all this stuff. It deleted all my footage the second time. And I'm like, crap. Okay, what do we do? I'm like, let's record again with this. And let's see what happens. And so that's why I'm redoing it for the 3rd time. If the 3rd time doesn't work, then I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm like, maybe we don't need to do an update video because I don't know. But yeah, it's just been frustrating for me. It's been frustrating just to do this one simple video where you are just talking and playing a simple game. I'm sorry, I had to get that out. I'm really sorry it took me so long just to do this. Ooh, Queen Barrel. Fun fact about me, she used to scare me, like, in the original, like, 90s, 80s cartoon. Queen Barrel kind of scared me as a kid. Here we go. But, yeah, it was, keep up the good work. Thank you, Luna. Touch the button. But yeah, it's been frustrating trying just to get a simple video up on my phone, and I'm like, and I have so many, like, I would, before the whole move started, I have videos on there that I was starting to edit, and so we're gonna have, like, these really interesting videos that will be coming up soon, because of editing, and I got, like, a notification about something about my free video, and how I have to, like, send a quest, like, to, like, you know, the whole drill, if you have videos dealing with animes, and now I have to actually talk to, like, send a whole thing saying, like, I am not using this for the purpose of, like, money-wise, I'm doing it purposes of fair use under reviewing-wise, pretty much. But yeah, I have that to deal with, but I don't want to send that, like, do that on my phone. If that sounds ridiculous, I want to do it on a computer. But yeah, that's what's going on with my, like, the little things that have been kind of stressing me out about my channel. But my channel is good. It's alive. I swear, Anime Vlogger Girl will be coming at you with brand new videos really, really soon. Sakai! Oh god, she's adorable. But anyways, blah blah blah. But doing this, like, for, like, the first few times, I was just going on and on and on about stuff, but I think that was good for me, because now my thoughts are more kind of in order and cleared in what I really want to say on this video. Because pretty much I am a rambler. My thoughts are not always organized, so when I just go off, and I will go on and on about every and anything under the sun. So basically, we are going to, I don't know if that will show up. It's not going to show up. It shows up. Okay. It probably will show up now because I have more data. But, yeah, I am not always organized. My thoughts are always not crystal clear, so I can go on and on about a topic for a long, long time. But because this is, like, my third time doing this, my thoughts are more, like, in order, and I precisely precisely know what I want to say with certain things. So, yes. So, okay. If I didn't say it before, how are all you doing? I hope all of you are doing wonderfully well. This morning, afternoon, night, evening, whenever you are watching this, I hope y'all are doing well. I hope you all are eating, sleeping, having the best life that you can at this moment. And yeah, we're just gonna sit back, play a little bit of this, and talk. And this is probably not gonna be an edited video, because, like, I am trying to do this all not edited, so I'm gonna stumble a lot because I do not speak well sometimes, and so I'm gonna stumble over my words because I'm gonna be speaking super uneloquent and just Luna bonus. See, like, I have a brain fart right now because I'm not sure what word to use, but I am not gonna, sometimes I'm just gonna stumble because I'm gonna be trying to ramble on and on about stuff that somebody may not care about. So if an update video is not what you're looking forward to, or me playing Sailor Moon Drops is not what you're looking forward to, I am really sorry. Come back next time. I will have a video. Hopefully you'd like the one video I am trying to get up here soon is the J-drama version of Death Note. Since it's Halloween time, I thought that'd be a good Halloween video kind of put up. So I'm just kind of reading the bottom while I go on. But hopefully, because yeah, I have not actually seen the American version of Death Note yet, which I've been told that it's mixed. It's mixed, and there's actually going to be a part 2 to it. So I don't know how it's gonna work out. I have actually feelings towards the American one already. Only for the fact that the funny thing is I don't have Netflix right now because I do not have internet. But we're going to be moving soon, so when I get internet, I'm going to watch it and then I'll probably give my thoughts about it then. But the interesting thing is I already kind of have an opinion about it, but it's because of the whole like behind the scenes stuff and the stuff I've kind of knew about while it was going on, and so I will put that in there as well. But anyways, the update is pretty much this channel will be alive, thriving, doing very well for hopefully for some time. I don't want to say for many years because I don't know at this moment. I wanted to do well for many years. But anyway, let's just like go to the updates. The updates is pretty much very simple what I want to do with this channel. It's pretty much going to be like the two main shows I want to have on here, like the two main like segments, shows, series, what you may have called them, is one I've already kind of discussed this with you guys, is one called Discussion Friday, where we would pick a topic and we will discuss about it. And I like discussion videos, I like analytical videos, and so that's how I came up with Discussion Friday. Kind of like the other series I want to do called Versus. It will be more based off of like kind of like book reviewing in a way, but kind of like adaptation wise, like, and I'm looking at every type of literature out there. It could be classic literature, manga, webtoons, you name it. We pick something, we talk about it, and we actually see what was different about this, what was the same about this, pretty much the same thing. I actually came up with this idea some time ago, and I never knew what to call it. I just never did. And so actually it's kind of like how I kind of got the idea from subs versus dubs, how I compare the subbed and the dubbed version of a show, and we go into it. And I find that very interesting how one can be more beloved, but the other one is not as beloved as much, because, like, for example, like subs versus dubs, in the anime community, you see, like, more people love the subbed version of an anime more than the dubbed version of an anime, or at least that's what we're led to believe. Where I'm the opposite, I love both. I think there's some anime that's really good in the original Japanese and you should never dub it, but there are some incredible dubs out there. Like, the one big example is like Cowboy Bebop, and everyone says that is one of the best dubs out there. But that is just it, and it's not going to just be like book material. It will be like other TV shows, because I kind of got this idea actually while watching the TV show The Good Doctor, which, if people didn't know, The Good Doctor actually is based off a Korean drama called the same thing. And I've always been interested in doing those kind of things, like, okay, let's go watch the Korean drama and compare it to the Western version of it. It's kind of comparing two versions of the same thing, and I've always found that stuff fascinating. And if you find that stuff fascinating, I hope you're in for a great journey and ride, and a very big treat as well. Besides that, I was like thinking about just doing random stuff. Like, I actually one thing I did on my YouTube page on this channel is I actually already written out like the bio, like certain things you will find on this page. I am also focusing on like just random fun, like otaku, nerdy things on here. I want to call it like nerdy lifestyle in a way, because I just want to share and discuss and talk and make new friends, or basically share my passion and interest with everybody out there who have the same passion and interest as me. So that is pretty much what you'll be getting on this channel right now. Pretty much. I am. Okay, we paused for a second because I took a drink, because I'm really thirsty, because I just talked for a good solid few minutes there, and I'm really sorry if I sound really nervous and all that stuff. I'm just trying to get back into this because I haven't been doing it for some time, but even though I haven't been doing it some time, I do have a lot of great ideas and videos that I really want to show and share with you guys. Oops. Oopsies. But anyway, so I actually picked Sailor Moon drops because all of you are my lovely Sailor Scouts. I adore Sailor Moon so much. She is one of my favorite. Wait a minute. Excuse me. She is one of my favorite. She is like the anime show that I think a lot of people can relate to that. She is the anime girl, the anime show that got us all into starting to love anime. At least she did that for me, because when I was little... You're out of the... Okay, so... Oh! When more Out of Moon Tuxedo Mask comes to save us, Momo-chan or Darien. What do you guys remember him as? Do you remember as Momo, or do you remember him as Darien? I remember him as Darien being growing up in America and stuff, so I had the American version of Sailor Moon always on my screen, so he's known as Darien to me, and Usagi is known as Serena to me. But how did you grow up knowing these characters? But like I was saying, she was the pinnacle, like, girl, like, magical anime girl to come along and introduce me to anime. She was actually my favorite superhero growing up. She was the one that I looked at as a role model, and she gave me the courage to be strong, to be brave, to feel pretty about myself no matter what. I mean, I think that's the great thing about Sailor Moon, is they have all these different scouts, and you can look up to any one of them. It didn't matter if you loved Sailor Moon, Sailor Mars, Sailor Mercury, Sailor Jupiter. You could look up to any of these girls, and you could feel like you could embody yourself in them. And that's what I thought was great about the show growing up, because my sister actually grew up looking up to Minnie Moon, Rini, and she looked up to Sailor Mars, which is Ray. And I thought that was so cool. I always looked up to Usagi, Serena, Sailor Moon, or else I looked up very much to Sailor Venus or Sailor Mercury, who is Amy, and I'm like, I love the show so much. I think that's why Sailor Moon is still so popular, not just because she is a beautiful, heroic girl you can look up to, but she also is very nostalgic for a lot of people. And when you hear Sailor Moon, that is like the one show that everyone knows. Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball. I grew up loving Dragon Ball Z. I love Dragon Ball Z. I will love Dragon Ball Z till the day I die. Fun fact about me, it was hard for me growing up, because even though I did like Momo-chan. I did love Darien so much, but my first love was Gohan. I loved him. He was my first Hasbino growing up. I think it was because when... Yes, we went... Oh. Are we going? Oh. I'm sorry. I'm talking too much. But... Okay. But I think it's because I started watching Dragon Ball Z when I was so very young. And I started to watch it when I was really young, and Gohan was really young, so I kind of grew up with Gohan. This is really weird for me to divulge on the internet. But I think it's because we were, like, at the same age, so it was kind of like a friend crush. Like, I was crushing on my best friend kind of thing. Don't judge me. You all know you had a thing for him as well. But yeah, Gohan was, like, my first Husbino, and then we got, Videl in there, and I love Videl. She was actually one of my first ever, like, attempted cosplays. Which... Oh boy, it was something, because she's a very easy character to cosplay, because all you have to do is, like, get, like, a white tank top, purple or black, shorts, and then put your hair up, like, in pigtails and stuff, and get, like, fighting gloves, and she's really easy to recreate. But yeah, Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, Digimon, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Hakusho thrown in there, some Moroni Kenshin. These are the shows that I grew up loving. Thanks to Toonami, which Toonami is still around, and bringing anime to people all over the world. Level up. Yes! Pick a character. You can always use the item later. Okay, leveling up. So, we're leveled up now. But yeah, those were like these shows, but I just... And then, like, also, like, speaking of, I'm sorry, I just keep on stopping, but it's because I'm trying not to burp, while I'm talking. But yeah, those were the shows that I grew up loving and got me into anime. But actually, fun fact, the first show that I knew that was, like, an anime, like, an anime, because, you know, growing up as a kid, you just thought, like, Pokemon, Sailor Moon were just fun little shows that you just ran home, like every day. Because, honestly, because I grew up in a household where sometimes watching certain shows, my mom didn't really like me watching Pokemon growing up, so I felt like they were the forbidden shows for me. Especially, like, Pokemon and certain shows that showed you more graphical stuff than you're supposed to see, because, like, Dragon Ball Z, like, the first time I saw any graphic parts was when Frieza, like, shot his horn into Krillin, and I freaking screamed. I'm like, what is this show? And yeah, so after that, I'm like, they became really... My household was very interesting growing up when it came to watching certain anime when I was a little girl. But anyway, but the first, like I was saying, the first anime that I watched that I strictly knew was anime was a little show called School Rumble. And still to this day, it is on my top favorite anime of all time. School Rumble is a blessing in disguise for me, because it's the one show that set off me really, like, loving anime. Not just for some nostalgic reason, but for loving it for the story, for the art. It just got me down. School Rumble for me brought me down the anime rabbit hole, and ever since then I've been seeing so many titles that I am so thankful for. That I know about now, and I'm thankful to School Rumble for making me part of the anime community. But yeah, I adore School Rumble for the fact that it also was my very first Funimation dub. I watched the dub. It was hilarious in the dub. Not gonna say. It introduced me to some actors that I clearly today love with all my heart, like Lucy Christensen, Todd Haberkorn. Just, oh, these people are just amazing. They're amazing actors in general, and I want everyone just to support them so much harder and more in Funimation, because Funimation is one of the places that gives us the best dub and gives us a lot of good anime out there. Hey, why not make a new friend? Make a friend. Oh, we can actually make friends. Tap. Choose your nickname. Can I actually make a nickname? We'll just do that. Because that's usually never taken. We request a few people. Okay, we're fighting against the Negaverse. But yeah, after that, School Rumble set me down, like, the anime rabbit hole, and I've never looked back, and I'm happy I've never looked back. For so many reasons. I started watching School Rumble, actually. I discovered School Rumble, actually, the end of 8th grade going into 9th grade. So actually, I started, became an anime fan, like, the start of high school. Like, when I knew what anime was. I'm like, oh, okay. And my best friend at the time, she started to really get into anime as well. So it was really cool. We started to discover this new world together. Which is really, 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 really cool. And I think in some ways, anime made our bond somewhat stronger. And I was happy for just everything anime brought with it. The one thing I really loved about School Rumble, though, is the little, things about Harima and how he was in love with Tenma, but Tenma's in love with, what's his name? I forgot his name. I feel really dumb now. What is his name? Kurasama! He's voiced by Eric Vell in the show. Kurasama. I love that little triangle because he loves her, but she loves him, and he loves Curry. And it's so funny. It's so weird. I related so much to Tenma in that show. If you wanted to know me in high school, I was Tenma. Tenma was me. That was me. I was that awkward, kind of happy, goofy, kind of ditzy, but I had potential to be smart if I put my mind to it. That was me. Not gonna lie, that was me. Some parts, I like to say, in some ways, to really get to know me in high school, I would say I was part Sailor Moon analogy. Or we could do School Rumble. I was 1 part Usagi, and I was 1 part Amy. Yep, that was me. I was 1 part Tenma. I was 1 part Tenma and 1 part Mokoto, which is her kind of smarty, nerdy friend. That was me. I was happy. I was cheery. I was a little out there, but also I was the kind of girl who liked to be left alone to do her own thing sometimes. I liked reading. I like researching. I like all that stuff. So that's pretty much how I would describe myself in high school. So yeah, it's been very interesting with my anime journey. The other things, pretty much, well, I kind of touched on it before. Okay, we have a new scene with Usagi and Luna. And Momo-chan. Mamio. I love Usagi and Mamio's like little banter back and forth. I always found that really cute in the anime. Also find it really I keep saying the anime, but I should also say the manga too, because it's adorable in the manga as well. And then like recently I found out that I've been lied to this whole time. I didn't know that she was so much younger than him. I'm like, oh, I didn't know she was like 14 years old and he was like in his like early 20s. I'm like, oh, okay. I've learned something today. But things are different in Japan when it comes to ages, when it comes to dating. But I was like, oh, okay, well, I get it. All right. Let's stop talking and just keep playing. Okay, next. Look, it's Minnie Moon. Bacon. Oh. Yay. Well, ooh, we got Usagi Black Cat Party. Maybe we'll play it later. I want to play like some of the tended game first before we do any events, but hopefully we can play that event. That is a video I promise I will do. I will try to play that event. It's Amy! It's my girl Amy! Our girl Amy, but Mercury power! But anyway, like I was saying originally, but we can kind of backtrack a bit, because I was saying this like originally, and I want to do like a whole video about my feelings or my opinion about live action adaptations about anime, or just live adaptations in general, because I have some things to say about Hollywood, and there are a few videos I have something to say about Hollywood, because lately I've been very passionate about a certain topic. I've always been passionate about this topic, but lately I've been really getting more like researching about it and trying to understand it better, because of certain things in my life personally, and then certain things with the things I am into have happened, and so I've been researching a lot more into it and trying to understand this certain topic, which I will not disclose here, but has made me rethink about me changing my name a few times to this channel. But the thing I want to say about like live action is recently we're going to okay, and we're back. I'm sorry, I had to go take a quick break for something, but anyways, we're back and we're back to playing. But like I was saying before about live action adaptations, which are I think live action adaptations for anything, it's a double-edged sword. It can be a very, very great movie. It can be follow the source material religiously, but in the end, I feel like it's either gonna work or it's not gonna work, or you're gonna piss off some fan base. I did use the P word, I am sorry, but you are gonna anger some people no matter how good or how religious it is to the material, you are going to anger some people off. And then the other thing I realized with the Netflix Death Note is, according to what I've heard, I haven't seen a lot. I've seen like clips. Like I've seen like the clips that at Comic-Con you would see when it was coming out. I've seen those. And I've been hearing that it's not religious to the manga or the anime at all. It is completely its own. Ooh, hi Ray. Hi Ray. Ooh, we got more adventure. But like I was saying, I'm so sorry. I am such a dork. I'm a dork apple potato. But anyways, but like I was saying, it doesn't follow the manga and the anime at all. Except for the characters. You have Light, you have L, you have Detective Yagami, but you don't have, or also you have Ryuk. That's the other one I know about. But you don't, it's not set in Japan. It's not Japan. It's not the whole, I've been told it's like not the whole cat and mouse thing between Light and L, which, if that's true, I'm going to be disappointed in that factor. But because of that, it's not like at all, because it went off and it did its own separate thing in the Death Note universe. A lot of people got mad because it wasn't like the manga or the anime at all. And so I actually have to see the live action American Death Note to make my own decision. But I think you're gonna make anybody mad if it's too faithful to the book or the thing you're trying to adapt, or you're gonna get people mad because if it's just in name only. And I think that's a thing a lot of people gotta shrug off. You gotta just look at film as itself. Film itself is its own art. And you have to look at this film as itself as a new piece of art. And that's how I want to go into watching the Netflix Death Note, is I want to look at it as its own piece of art before I start to go through it and be like, well, this is different from this, but I like this different from that. That's how I want to go into it. Because there's a lot of, like, I've been finding out that Netflix is doing a lot of stuff with anime, because I found out I posted this on my Instagram, that they actually put their hand into the anime Erase. They came out with like a live action, I'm not sure if it's a TV show or a movie, but they came out something to do with Erase, and they just came out with the Full Metal Alchemist movie on Netflix, which I am so stoked and happy to wanting to see that. I really want to see that, because I love Full Metal very much. It is one of my favorite shows of all time, one of my favorite animes of all time, one of my favorite mangas of all time. But it's very, I've heard it has mixed reviews as well, but I was really, really hopeful that it's gonna be a better adaptation version. I mean, we could go on about how certain things can get people upset, like with Ghost in the Shell, the one with Scarlett Johansson, how that got people upset because it was not, I think people was basically because of the whitewashing. And my only defense for that, if I wanted to defend it, is like, well, if it's a if it's a different world setting, then I get it. But if it's not a different world setting and it's based in Japan, then I agree, they should have more, or the cast should be mostly Japanese actors. That is my only thing, is if it's set in a certain place, keep it in that certain place. If it's set in Japan, keep it in Japan. If it's set in New York, keep it in New York. If you want your main character, though, to be slightly different than the book version, or it's slightly different than the webcomic, or whatever you may have, then I will accept that. But there are certain things coming from an artist herself that I don't think you should touch. And then, like, going on to that, so, like, a great example for that, for me, is Ouran High School Host Club. For people who don't know, they had a live-action J-drama and a live-action movie done about them. And I love the J-drama so much. And I love the movie a lot as well. But the J-drama, because it's like the movie actually takes off where the J-drama ends. And they have like one special episode that's not in the anime or the manga. But I love the J-drama so much because they do tackle different things that were never in the anime. And it made me think, well, okay. I mean, there were some people who kind of were like, no, I'm not going to watch this. This is like, but actually it was a really good show. And I mean, for like the movie, they dyed Tamaki, the actor who's playing Tamaki, they dyed his hair blonder just because people were giving crap because his hair wasn't blonde enough. And I mean, there were some things like they tweaked in there, like actually it has to do about his parents. His dad, Tamaki's dad, is Japanese, but then Tamaki's mom is the halfer because his mom in the J-drama is part Japanese and part French, making Tamaki more Japanese than French when we know in both manga and anime he's the halfer. He's part Japanese and part French. But I kind of get why they would do that to appeal to more of a, maybe to appeal more to a Japanese audience. I'm not sure, but that's what I'm assuming that's why they did it that way. But I love the live action Ouran very much. Very, very much. The other movie that just came out is the movie Tokyo Ghoul, which I'm excited to see. I haven't heard anything really bad about the Tokyo Ghoul. I cannot speak. Tokyo Ghoul live action movie. Excuse me. I haven't heard nothing bad about that. And by the trailer, it looks really good. And if people who don't know about Tokyo Ghoul, it's simply a story about a guy named Ken Kaneki, and about how he is the shy, nervous kind of person, and he has a crush on this really pretty girl. One day he gets the courage to ask her out, and pretty much that night he finds out that she's a ghoul, and she bites him. And not to ruin it for anybody who has not read or seen this anime show yet, but they get into a fight. She dies, he survives. The way he survives, though, is they stuck her organ inside of him, so now he's part ghoul. And so it's basically a story about Kaneki struggling through, is he human, is he a ghoul? He makes a lot of new friends that are ghouls, and he has to decide, does he want to become faithful and stay faithful to his new life as a ghoul, or will he struggle to stay connected to his humanity? Which is beautiful in itself, because I just lost because I'm rambling. No. I am sorry, I just lost because I'm rambling. But return. But that's a beautiful metaphor, because I think a lot of people struggle with that, if they should stay faithful to who they are as a person, or if they should
become something else. And I think that's something that I think a lot of people struggle with, is if they should stay true to who they used to be, or if they should evolve into something or someone else. And sometimes that can be a great thing, and sometimes that can not be such a great thing. I guess I'm over-explaining this, but that's kind of how I see Kaneki's journey. He is trying to hang on to who he used to be, but he realized he can't be that person anymore because he's someone else, and he's going through this journey trying to figure out who he really is as a person, as a character, as a ghoul. he's trying to figure out who he is, and I think a lot of people struggle with that every day. They try to figure out who they are, and in the end, they are left with the decision of who they want to be and who they might become. But let's go on. Let's go on to a different topic. But staying in life action, basically. But we're gonna talk about an anime, a manga that I truly love very much, and they just came out with a live action movie, and I am looking forward to it. It looks really good. It's a movie, well, all of it's titled under this one title, called Peach Girl. I love Peach Girl so much. I do. I love Peach Girl. If you don't know what the story about Peach Girl is about, it's about this girl named Momo, and she is very tan. She has bleached blonde hair, but this is all due to the fact that she is on her high school swim team, and being on the swim team, she gets tanned very easily. Her hair is bleached because of the chlorine in the water, and yeah, people kind of make fun of her because she looks slightly different than everyone else around her. So because she looks so different than everyone else in her high school, she gets made fun of, and some really not nice rumors get started about her. But this doesn't stop Momo from living her life. She pretty much doesn't give a damn what people say about her. She lives her life according to what she believes. And so our story starts off with Momo.
And so by the description that I just described Momo by, she reminds me a lot of a Garu girl. And if no one knows what Garu is, it's a sub-genre of fashion in Japan. It's very big there, but still not a lot of people that I know about it wear it that much. I know it's much more known about today than when it first came out. Myself, whatever you want to say, I also enjoy Garu fashion. The other type of J fashion I really enjoy is a fashion called Fairy K. So they're pretty two different types of fashion, where Garu is more kind of bold and out there, and some of it can be really pretty and feminine, where Fairy K can also be very pretty and feminine, but the color schemes are so different because Fairy K is very pastel-y and very like 80s cartoon things, and just gorgeous, like 80s 90s themed, and they're just really like cute, like ponies and little bears and stuff. I just adore these two fashions a lot. But enough of talking about fashions, but about Peach Girl. Peach Girl starts off with our girl named Momo, who's getting picked on because of her, basically because she looks different, but it is let out that she likes this boy named Toji. Now, she's like Toji, like it says like in the manga and the anime, for many, many years, since junior high. She's liked him for that long. She probably have liked him even longer than that. My brain cannot compute right now how long she's liked him, but she's liked this guy for a lot. But Momo has always heard this rumor that Toji doesn't like tan girls, and Momo herself, she's a pretty tan girl, so she's like trying to put on all this suntan lotion, trying to not tan as much. She's trying to basically not tan at all. But no matter what she does, she gets tanner than the tannest person out there, and she's like, Toji's never gonna love me and all that stuff. But there's kind of like a little inkling there. There are two other characters. One of it is Sai. Sai is kind of like, I would describe Sai as Momo's frenemies. What we are doing right now is on the screen if you're watching me play. Before I go into it, I'm just trying to figure out how far we're supposed to go in this game. Like, I'm just seeing what's going on and trying to decide, like, should we go this far or that far? I'm thinking we should go as far probably to Ray right now. I'm not sure. I think that should be good because this video's getting kind of long. But anyways, yeah, there is Sai, who is like Momo's frenemy, and she at first, Momo thinks Sai's a good person. I mean, a lot of people think Sai's a good person, but then Sai starts to basically ruin Momo's life. She tries to do every evil thing you can imagine. But there's like a separate manga that talks about Sai's issues, and actually in the original Peach Girl manga and the original Peach Girl anime, it really does explain Sai's kind of why Sai is the way she is, but still, you still shouldn't do half of the really, really cruel stuff that she does to Momo and to Toji and to our third character, which his name is Kairi. Kairi is the pretty boy in the high school. He's like the popular pretty boy that every girl wants to get with. He does actually, Kairi kind of does have that slight reputation of being a playboy, being a player with a lot of girls there. And because of that, Momo doesn't like him, Momo doesn't care for him, but oddly, something happens between Momo and Kairi, and pretty much Momo and Kairi become like my OTP in Peach Girl. Yeah, I said it. Because there's things that happen in Peach Girl, but I don't want to ruin it for everybody, but that is pretty much like the summary of Peach Girl. It's kind of like a love triangle between Toji, Kairi, and Momo, and then you have the little Miss meanie frenemy girl who kind of sticks her nose into everyone's business and trying to hurt Momo by doing things that she shouldn't do. She also does not just hurt Momo, she tries to hurt some other people as well. But I would say go watch the anime, go read the manga to find out what exactly happens, because I know I probably did not the best to describe it. But anyways, let's talk about the other different media that I have been talking about, which is the live action part. Originally, actually, Peach Girl actually did have a live action drama first. Actually, I'm not sure how it went. I think it was like a Taiwanese drama, but it had Chinese actors in it. So it was interesting. I remember watching it, but the specifics about it, I don't remember that well. All I can remember is the fact it was Peach Girl. Like, the story was the same story, but instead of a high school setting, they had it as a college setting, which I found interesting for the most. I remember the first episode. Like, the first episode started with them on a beach, and it was like supposed to be like the start of like, or it was like in the middle. I don't know if it was the middle or the start like of like spring break or something. It was something like that before they started before they started their first term of college or something. It was like it was something that started off like that, and it was basically the same story. It was about Momo, Kairi, Toji, then there's Sai butting her nose into business, but they weren't going by those names. They were going by different names, but if you know the story well enough, you can actually pick out which character was portraying which character. I should say which actor was portraying which character. But yeah, I'm excited for the Peach Girl Japanese live action movie though, because it looks so good, and I'm excited for that stuff. I really, really, really am. I'm hoping that the Peach Girl live action movie will be much, 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 much better than some of the live action adaptations we have been getting with certain animes or just certain properties in general, because sometimes when you're trying to take something that originally was like from a book, from a cartoon, whatever property you're trying to adapt, sometimes adapting it into like a different media doesn't translate that well when you're doing it. So sometimes you get really negative feedback because it's not that loyal to its source material, but sometimes you get the same feedback when you are doing it too faithful, and people are like, well, if you were more open to doing a different story than the one you already had, it's kind of like, what do you want? I think when it comes to doing anything live action, I think people just need to come to a compromise that we cannot always be faithful to the source material, and the fact that the companies need to realize that the fans will gripe and moan about certain things with their medium, no matter how precise that they try to be or how not precise they're going to be. There is going to be that one fan who's going to nitpick and do whatever with it. I mean, like, a great example is, even though I haven't really came to full terms with it yet, is the I forgot Ghost in the Shell for a second, but Ghost in the Shell. I'm not gonna say Ghost in the Shell is the one with Scarlett Johansson. We're going there. I'm going to dark territory, but I'm not gonna say that was an accurate adaptation. But it was interesting to a point, and I think what suffered for Ghost in the Shell was the fact there was messy. It was just a sloppy, messy script because I feel like they were grabbing so much from each section of Ghost in the Shell, and they were just trying to shove it in that movie. And I think that's why the movie turned out bad for one of the reasons. One of the reasons why it turned out bad, but that's what I totally wholeheartedly believe right there and then. But I guess the other live action manga anime film I could talk about right now is one I'm super excited to see, and I've been hearing it's getting mixed reviews, which I expected, which is actually the Bleach live action movie. And I am such a Bleach fan. Like, there's the whole thing about like the big three or whatever. I am that Bleach girl. I love Bleach. Granted, I'm not gonna defend Bleach on a whole. There are parts, mostly filler arcs with that include the bounce, that I would say, yeah, you could skip that. That was a horrible idea. That was the most boring piece of Bleach that I ever seen, and it almost made me stop watching. But I didn't, and I struggled through, and I do love Bleach, but I do say Bleach itself has its faults, and I can see when people start to kind of rag on it, I'm kind of like, yeah, I get your point. I get your point. It does have its faults in a lot of areas, but I personally still enjoy it. Yeah, I'm excited to actually see this movie, and I can't wait to see this. I'm just excited because what I know about it, it's starting in the first arc about with Ichigo and Rukia and how they met, and about how Ichigo gets his Soul Reaper powers and all that stuff. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see this, and I have high hopes for this film. I really do, because supposedly, if the film does well, like, they're gonna keep continuing the film series. But the rumor is if the film does well, that somehow they're gonna greenlight for another season, or like redo Bleach or something like that. They said they would like they would rethink about finishing the anime since the manga's already done. That's what I heard since, and I'm like, oh, okay, that'd be good. I'd be excited. I'd be happy if they, like, since the manga's already done, if they finished like the anime with like the original manga ending, which both of my couples are canon now, so I'm happy. My people will hate me if I say who my canon couples are. They are canon now. My Bleach couples are canon. My Bleach couples are Orihime and Ichigo, and Rukia and Renji. I just love those two. I love the fact, and people be like, "Why?" No, I actually am an Ichigo and Ruki girl myself. I would have settled for them if these original two did not work out. But I am like super happy that they are canon now. I think the reason I've always liked Ichigo and Orihime together was for the fact that they're like the unlikely pairing, and just through the whole show, you kind of see her, Orihime, even though a lot of people don't like her. I personally like Orihime to a point. I enjoy her fact that she's willing to never give up. She's willing to always to protect her friends like Ichigo. She's always there for him. And I like the fact that they're the most unlikely pairing, but at the same time you're like secretly like rooting for them. And then Rukia, can I speak? Rukia and Renji. I like them just for the fact it's the whole kind of like best friend kind of arc. They were best friends growing up. they got into the Soul Society together, and then Rukia just one day got adopted by the Kuchikis. Spoiler alert if you have not read or watched. She gets adopted by the Kuchikis one day, and yeah, she thinks she can't be who she used to be, but Renji, out of pure self love for Rukia, he decides to, well, I am going to become Byakuya's, her brother's right hand man, to protect you. Because he's not just, I don't think he not just loved Rukia as a friend, I really do think his love for her was deeper than just friendship when they got older. And so I was really happy when I found out that they actually were a couple. And I'm like, yay! And Rukia and Renji and Ichigo and Orihime, they have kids now, and so I'm kind of like being that really weird person, like, okay, I'm like, now, your kids need to, like, become friends or date or something, and I think it'd be really cute if their kids actually dated and got married, because it'd be funny for a lot of reasons if Ichigo and Renji became father-in-laws and they would have to see each other every time. It's because I love their combatants, Ichigo and Renji's. I love this show. I just do. I could just like gush over all these characters like for hours. There are so many that I really do love. Like I love Urahara, I love Oriichi, I love Chad and Uru as well. I just love a lot of these. These are like the main ones that a lot of people like, but also I like a lot of the Soul Society captains as well. Oh my god, yes. When it was time for the Soul Society arc, I was like, yes, oh my god, yes. Because there's no denying it. A lot of people have said it. Like, there's no argument into the fact that the Soul Society arc is the or one of the best arcs out there in Bleachdom. And I mean, you meet a lot of great, like, amazing characters in here. Like, personally, for me, I got to meet the wonderful Hitsugaya. Toshida Hitsugaya, and I love him. He is one of my favorite captains. I love him, and I love Kampachi. I also love Rangiku. I love Ichiru. Oh, and then we go on to something else like the and then you get into the Iran car, and oh my god, Grimjow Jabberjack. I love Grimjow so damn much. He is my baby. I will love him till the day I die. I don't care if he's evil. I don't care if he's on Aizen's side. I love me some Grimjow. He is just so freaking cool, and he's beautiful, and he's cool, and he's tough, and I love Grimjow. I do. I also really like Nellio. Nell. She is, even though she's on the good side and not the evil side, I really do adore her as well. She is beautiful. And she is a great asset to Ichigo and the gang
When Ichigo and the gang travel to Las Noches, and I think Nell should get more credit where it's due because she is a big part of them getting through Las Noches to some extent. I think she is more of a help to Ichigo than a hindrance, but I can understand people who don't like Nell and can see her as a hindrance to them and can see her not much of a useful character. But personally, I like Nell. I think she brings so much to the Bleach universe. Speaking of Las Noches, speaking of Bleach, one of my favorite fights actually in the Bleach universe is actually Ichigo when he fights Ukiura. I think that fight is so amazing. I think that was that and Kenpachi's fight with Ichigo. They are like two of the best fights with Ichigo in the Bleach universe. I think besides those two, I think the one fight with Uryu and Mayuri in the Soul Society arc, I think that fight was simply amazing. It was so good. Other fight, kind of going back because I have to bring him up again, is I like the fight with Grimjow as well. I think that fight was phenomenal in so many ways. I think all these fights could not. They're all better than the fight at the like that when the Aizen arc was completely done. That fight it was like building up to a point, and you were thinking you were gonna get something grand and wonderful. And to me, I feel like the fight, like the final battle with Aizen, somewhat of a letdown because you thought this fight was going to be bigger than it was. And I was I was a little, I shouldn't say I was a little, I was a little disappointed with how they decided to end the Aizen arc because I feel like we were left at a cliffhanger because, and this is where you should go read the manga for a reason. And what we just did is I was just looking through different puzzle pieces we have to get for the poster. But yeah, this is where you have to go read the manga kind of thing to get a lot of questions answered because the anime only does so much with what the manga has at the time, and sometimes, in a lot of examples, if the manga is not finished, the anime will go off into a different story. But anyways, yeah, after me rambling about Bleach for so long, it's I, yeah, Bleach fan girl here. Sorry. But anyways, this video is getting really long, so we're just gonna play just a little bit longer because I just want to get to Ray and then probably call it night, day, evening, whatever time you're watching this. Okay, to finish up this whole fun chat experience with me, I thought we can keep going on with this discussion by talking on the manga I've been reading lately. And to tell people this, actually, I'm going to talk about all different types of literature that I've been reading, but like with certain months, I have like this set book list, like for Halloween, I have the set list of books that are like Halloween or fall based. So the month, like the season is fall, so I have like books that relate to the fall season, but then I have like holiday books. You want to call Halloween a holiday? I'm going blank. I am so sorry. But yeah, I have like these set books I have been reading for such an occasion, and we're gonna start off talking about manga. And if you don't want to hear about literature or want to hear me geek out about literature, then you can stop right now. But if you have listened and watched me do this chatty kind of playthrough thing so far, thank you so much. It means so much to me that you are this much interested in what I have to say, or just that interested in to listen to what I have to say, or getting a big laugh out of what I have to say. It means a lot to me. Also, I just want to say thank you to all of my subscribers who have stuck by me thus far. I have noticed like we gain a little bit and then we lose a little bit, but I understand. But I am so happy to the people who have just stayed and the people who have recently just subscribed. Please keep on subscribing. I promise you guys, in the near future, there will be more and more videos up on this channel, and I hope they will be better than ever. Just thank you so much. My words, my gratitude to you guys, it can't be expressed in words. I am so honored and humbled by all of you for being this interested in what I am doing on this channel. But anyways, so let's kind of like go into the talk of manga now. I'm only like reading at this moment 2 mangas. Sad, I know, but I've been moving, and so I haven't had that much time to like quote unquote like get that in depth into books or anything really. The manga I've been reading, well, the one that is probably Halloween based, is the manga Vampire Knight, and I always love Vampire Knight ever since I seen the anime. I always wanted to read the manga, and I have, and I love the manga so much. The ending will make you cry every time. It's so different from the anime, how the anime ends. It's just so much like, this is why you should really read the manga of certain anime I think you love, because it makes you appreciate the story even more. Because that's what happened with me with Oran High School Host Club and Nana. Oh, I love Nana so much, even though it's on a hiatus. I love Nana 2 bits. But anyways,
For any of you who don't know what Vampire Knight is, it is a manga. And the story takes place in this fictional world. I want to say it's like fictional world, but it's someplace in Japan, I feel like. But also, I feel like it's someplace like set in Europe, like in. It also feels like it's set in Romania. It kind of gives me that Vlad the Impaler kind of feeling to it. But there's also something really charming and lovely about it that you kind of just want to spend some time there. It's kind of like a lovely English countryside. I know I'm like mushing all these countries together, but that's what the setting on Vampire Night feels like to me. Um, there are two types of students that go there. There's the day class students and the night class students. The day class students are basically your everyday average person, where the night class students are vampires, and they're highly intelligent vampires. I put in highly intelligent because that's what a lot of people dismiss them as the brainiacs of the school, and they believe if you're in the night class you are taking special classes, but actually they're just a bunch of vampires trying to coexist with humanity. Actually, Cross Academy was built on that idealism by Headmaster Cross and Kaname, who is the head of the vampires. He is actually one of your main male protagonists, along with a character named Zero. He's also one of your male protagonists. He actually is a vampire hunter and he doesn't like vampires. And Zero dislikes vampires for certain reasons, but if you want to find out these reasons, I will not spoil them here. Please go read the manga, please go watch the anime for why Zero detests all vampire kind out there. But last but not least, we have our main girl, which is Yuki Cross, and she is the headmaster's daughter. She also is really good friends with Zero, and she also has a special bond with Kaname. So it's very interesting watching these. Basically, it's a love triangle between these three, along with mystery and kind of a thriller in a lot of aspects, but that's pretty much Vampire Night, and I love this manga, love this anime very, very much. I kind of think this is still, and in some ways, Vampire Night is kind of nostalgic to me for the fact that it was my very first vampire anime I ever watched during my vampire phase, and every time when I watch the anime or read the manga, I just remember that little vampires. It brings back that spark of that little vampire lover in me, and like, yes, yes, okay, yes. But, anyways, moving on to the next manga I am currently reading. I should say rereading. I'm rereading Full Metal Alchemist. Yes, I know. All of you are like, you like haven't like read Full Metal like before, and it's like, yeah, I kinda have, but not really. I kind of like skimmed through it, but I was more like invested in the anime. And plus, when I started to read Full Metal, the manga wasn't like finished yet. But since it is finished now, I've started just to go back to book one and just to read the whole series from cover to back to back to cover. Just, it's really a great read, and I love Full Metal very, very much. For you that don't know the story of Fullmetal Alchemist, it's about two brothers named Edward Elric and Alphonse Elric, and about how they are alchemists, and alchemists are people who believe in science and that they can do alchemy. And I'm not sure how to explain alchemy. I think the best way I can explain alchemy that it's a type of science, but also kind of has a magical quality to it within the Fullmetal Alchemist world. And actually, there is a science called alchemy because actually Isaac Newton was studying alchemy. He also was looking for the Philosopher's Stone as well, like in Fullmetal Alchemist. But the true story kind of starts out like this: the fact that Alphonse and Edward lost their mother at a very young age, and they broke the greatest rule in alchemy, which they were trying to bring her back, and one of the greatest rule actually in the world of Full Metal is actually equivalent exchange. Whatever you take, you give back. And so when they try to bring their mother back, Ed lost his, I'm gonna get this wrong, his right leg, I think, and Elphon lost his whole body. So for Ed to retrieve his baby brother back, he exchanged his left arm. I could be wrong about body parts for Ed, so I'm really sorry. So if you want to correct me with that, would be very appreciated for that. And basically, they're on this quest to find the Philosopher's Stone to get their normal bodies back, and on the way, they meet some colorful characters. But I won't spoil that for you. Please go watch the anime. You have actually two animes to pick from that. You have the 2003 one, which is Full Metal Alchemist, and then you have the redone one, which is called Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which is more closer to the manga. You also have the manga, which is amazing, and I'm loving every minute of it. So yes. Just go indulge in Full Metal happiness. That's all I gotta say. Okay, then let's move on to something else. Something lately I've been reading a lot of is webtoons, and the first webtoon we're going to talk about is a webtoon called Age Matters. And I like this. Basically, I started reading it because of the title. I like this webtoon basically because of the title, because it stands up to a belief I have that age should not matter, even though the title says age matter, and I'm going to tell you why age shouldn't matter in the webtoon itself. But first, I want to just say this. If you like a guy or a girl that's older or younger than you just by a little bit, that should not matter in your relationship that much, because if you like this person and you gel really well with them, it shouldn't matter, because if this person is a kind, sweet, caring, compassionate person who will always be by your side and they make you smile like nothing else, you should go for it. But that's what I believe. I believe age is one of the last things you should really look at when it comes to relationships. I really think that you should look at how they treat you and how much they respect you and love you above all things, and if they will make a good partner for you and will be there and they're someone you can really trust. But anyways, enough about my theology or my idea about dating. But Age Manor got my attention because it's about our main girl, who is Rose, and she is 29 years old, and she's like, oh my god, my life is over because I'm old. And she actually, by the first few minutes, you feel like she just got out of an abusive relationship, and she stays with her friend. But her friend's boyfriend, I should clarify that, her friend's boyfriend surprises her friend with a surprise trip, and she ends up staying at her friend's place alone, not knowing for the fact that she is going to be the maid, because her friend was a maid. She's basically taken over her friend's job, and she is now the maid of one Daniel Yoon. And Daniel Yoon is a very, very successful 23-year-old who came out with this messaging app called Lime Friends. And looking at the packaging, they got this idea from Line Friends. Yep. And people who don't know this, Line Friends is a very popular messaging app in Japan. Myself, I have experienced Line Friends. I like Line Friends. I like their little characters. I like Brownie and Corgi and such. So I like their characters a lot, and I have experienced Line myself, because with some Toma games, you need to actually get Line to play them. So I've actually experienced in this. But anyways, so she finds out that she has now becomes the maid for Daniel, but she doesn't really know who Daniel is. She doesn't know that Daniel is this successful 23-year-old man who has made this incredible app. But through hardships and ups and downs, they actually start to get really close. And seeing the fact that she's 29 and he's 23, they're starting to get feelings for each other, but they actually are thinking, well, she's a little old for me, but he's a little young. But they actually, in the end, I feel like they're gonna be like, whatever, I like you, kind of thing. But that is the main story to Age Matters, and main message, that how that's the message I'm taking from it at this moment. We have to keep reading the webtoon to find out. The other webtoon I have been reading lately is one I've been wanting to read for so long, and it's a webtoon called Dice. What can I say about Dice? It is such, it's, I just want to tell you all to go read it right now because it's amazing. So basically, the gist of the story I can say is about this guy named Dante and how he's always bullied, he's always picked on, he wishes he had a different life. One day, a new kid comes into his class named Tae Bin, and he's really handsome and smart. And there is Ray. Hi, Ray. And basically is popular like just by day one, and Dante's like, why can't that be me? I want to be him so bad. One day after class, Tae Bin actually comes up to him and says, do you want to play a game? And he's like, what kind of game? And he's like, the kind of game that can change your life. And basically it's dice, and basically what dice is if you could restart your life, would you? And what life would you have? And that is the whole message, is basically the choices we make in life, it brings us down to two different paths. And if we pick this path, we go down this path, like this journey. And if we pick this path, we go down this journey. So we never know which journey we're going to pick. So sometimes it'd be kind of interesting to see which path would bring us to where, and then we can say, okay, we went there, so let's try this path and see where that brings us. And I think that is an incredible thing to think about, really, if you really think about it. But I am in love with dice so much. But even so, my one prayer though for dice is for them to make a K-drama out of this, because I would watch the heck out of that show. And they have actually done K-dramas off of webtoons before. Like the other web drama I am currently reading is one which is My ID is Gundam Beauty. They actually have made a K-drama out of that, and it's a beautiful story. And actually in the show there is the, well, actor, singer, from actually the group Astro. His name is Chad Unu, and I love him so much. He is an amazing singer, he's an amazing actor, and I have currently started to watch a few things he's in, and I love him. He's adorable. And there's Tuxedo Mask. But yeah, the story about this one is about this girl named Mirai, and how she's always felt not that attractive. I mean, it goes the first episode of the webtoon and actually of the show. It tells you about her life growing up, how she always just felt very unattractive. She's always felt like she was fat and ugly, and whatever she does, nobody would ever like someone like her. So she does what a lot of people do to feel pretty, as she goes under the knife. She gets plastic surgery to fix whatever she feels like she needs to be fixed on her face or on her body or whatever. And she decides, okay, I'm beautiful now, I can face the world. And it takes you now to present day, where she's starting her first day of college and enjoying her life and everything. But certain things happen, and she still finds out she's that insecure about herself. But it takes someone very special, and this very special person goes by the name of Do Kyun Suk, and he is the person who tells her, hey, you are beautiful inside and out. Just because you feel a little bit insecure doesn't mean anything. You are already have been beautiful, and you already are beautiful in my eyes. It doesn't matter what other people say about you, as long as you believe it, and that's all that matters. And I like that message about having love for yourself and feeling self-confident about yourself, because that's something I think a lot of people struggle every day. They have the self-confidence, they lack the self-confidence to feel good about themselves. But every day I think we all should just look at ourselves in the mirror and just pick out one thing we like about ourselves. Like for me personally, I like my eyes a lot. I will make them stand out above everything up on my face. But yeah, that's how I have always looked at confidence and insecurities. I always felt like, well, everyone is insecure in their own way, but I always felt like the way to build up your self-confidence is you find something that you really like about yourself and you build off of that. And that's what I've always believed, and that's what I believe you can make your self-confidence even stronger, make you more comfortable in your skin, because once you find something you really like about yourself, be it your personality or a certain feature about yourself, and just build off of that, I think you can build your confidence tremendously from that. So like I said before, what I really like about myself is my eyes. And what I do is I really try to make my eyes stand out some days. When I feel really like down about myself, I try to bring my eyes out a lot. Another thing I really like about myself is my hair. And certain things like that, I try and focus on things that I try to accentuate and make look nicer to make my confidence feel better and looking trying to make my confidence soar a little bit higher, make me feel more confident and better about myself, if that makes any sense. But yeah, we just got Ray. Do we want to play with Ray? We'll play with Ray or try out Ray right now. Yeah, but I am gonna wrap this up pretty soon. I've been rambling on about everything from the sun, but I think the last thing is we're gonna actually go into the more literature, like the actual books I have picked out to read for fall, October, November. There's probably gonna be new books pretty soon, but these are the books I am reading currently right now. Currently, I am reading Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It is a really good book. It is written by Robin Louis Stevenson, and it is an amazing book because his idea behind this book, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, if you don't know the book by its title, it's pretty famous. It's basically about Henry Jekyll, who believes that every man has a great evil inside of him, and he came up with this idea one day, what if he could unleash it, and what would the world be like if he unleashed this great evil that's inside of all humanity, and we get Mr. Hyde and things doesn't go well like Henry wants, and chaos pursues, pretty much. But that is the center of the book. The center of the book is pretty much of him realizing that mankind has great evil in it and does it I'm trying to figure out actually what I'm trying to say. Mankind has great evil behind it, and should we really unleash it in the world, or should we keep it locked away? What should we do with it? And it kind of becomes like a yin and yang situation in a lot of ways. Ooh, we got something. It has been a very, very interesting read thus far. It's actually a very short book. I'm almost done with it. The other book I am, well, speaking of that, speaking of Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, I am also reading Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, and, Mary Shelley, she is amazing, but if you kind of read her life story, you kind of know a few things about her, which I'm like, oh, okay, didn't need to know that. But it's actually, Frankenstein is very interesting for the fact it goes into playing God, and I think that's what Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is about in a lot of respects too. It goes into the fact of playing God. And the theme of playing God, if humans play God, what will happen? And we see what happens when you humans play God. Half of the time, we get a zombie apocalypse. And things just go haywire. Please forgive me, I do not know how to speak right now. But yeah, that is pretty much Frankenstein. The basis of that story is there is someone named Frankenstein who creates the monster. The monster in Frankenstein is not Frankenstein. It's the doctor whose name is Dr. Frankenstein. His creation is known as the monster. People get that mixed up, but it's basically about him coming up with this idea about animating life, and if he will be a success with animating life. I'm trying to be very vague with a lot of these summaries about these books because I want people to go check them out themselves. So I'm sorry if I'm giving crappy summaries about these books, but I really want people to go check these books out for themselves. But yeah, it's basically that. He wants to create life. He wants to know if he can create life. He goes and creates life, and because of that, things happen to his creation and hijinks ensues. Also another classic book. Up there is also Bram Stoker's Dracula. It is, I never thought I'd be reading this book again. I tried reading it a long time ago and I found it boring. But now I'm slightly getting more into it. And the weird part is I found it boring when I was in my vampire phase. And now I'm more into it now, and I just think it's because I just wasn't at that level of like understanding yet, or that level of reading, if that makes sense. But now I completely am getting more into it. I'm liking the story better. The story of Dracula is a very interesting one. It's basically slightly based off Vlad the Impaler, who lived in Romania, to be exact, 15th century Romania. That's when Vlad the Impaler came from and when his reign came. But actually, it starts off that way. It's based off that, I should say. But it is from our point of view is from the point of view of a character by the name of Jonathan Hawkins. He basically, it's like we're reading his diary, and it's telling his story about how he met Dracula at his castle one day because he is a newly socialite aristocrat. I believe also he has just became a new journalist. His new job is being a journalist, and he actually went to see Dracula for some piece of land for an estate. And basically, Jonathan gets captured there. A lot of stuff happens to him there, and this kind of comes in when his fiancée Mina comes in, and basically things happen between her and Dracula. Also, stuff happens to her friend Lucy. Again, I am not trying to spoil this. This is why the summary is very vague. And then after that, the character Van Helsing comes in, and they go try to destroy Dracula and all his evil doing that has happened to Mina and Lucy and everyone that Jonathan has considered to be a friend, because Dracula has royally messed up everybody in this book. And basically, you have to read to find out exactly what happens. Me being so vague, I know I'm leaving a lot of stuff out, and I'm really sorry, but I am trying to stay interesting, but also at the same time I want you to go check it out yourself. I cannot stress that out enough. Please go read this book. It is not a bad read thus far. I am enjoying it more than when I first tried it. And yes, so the last book I am currently reading, it is a book called Wicked. It is, Wicked is, Wicked, it's done by an author by the name of Gregory Maguire, and of course, if you heard about Wicked, the Broadway show, it is adapted from Wicked, the book by Gregory Maguire, and I'm stumbling again, I'm sorry, but basically, yeah, if you know anything about the Wicked Broadway play, we just lost. I am sorry. I gotta give up. But anything about the Wicked Broadway play, it's pretty much central to that. It's about Elfie, the Wicked Witch of the West, and Glinda, the Good Witch of the North. Why do I think I'm wrong? Yes, I do believe Glinda is the Good Witch of the North. I'm 98% sure she is known as the Good Witch of the North. But it focuses on them, Elfie and Glinda, and their friendship and how they became friends, and over time how certain things in Oz, like status and just their belief system in a way, have kind of like drew them apart. And it's a really sweet tale of friendship and love. And I'm like, yes, because there is this one part in the book that just made me like cry. And it was when, not trying to give too much spoilers, but it was when they were gonna go see the wizard, and that they wanted them to hurt these monkeys, and Elphaba, the Wicked Witch, said no, she wasn't gonna hurt them because she believed all animal kind, or every being, has the right to happiness. And the people in Oz like shunned her for that. It's like, what do you know? They're just stupid animals and stuff. And I'm like, my heart was breaking, and I'm like, oh, this is so sad. And kind of like also, oh, this is how we got the flying monkeys in actual Wizard of Oz. The other part that made me laugh, it was the beginning of the book, and it was when Dorothy, Tin Man, Scarecrow, and Lion is going to go kill Elphaba, the Wicked Witch, and they were saying all these things to Dorothy about, oh, people say she's a man, people say all this stuff, and it's like Elfie's like hearing this like in the trees, and she's like laughing really loud. It's like, these are the rumors people are spreading about me. How stupid, how gullible can people be to believe these rumors about me? But yeah, just go read Wicked, or I love the Broadway play too. I was so crazy about this play when I first heard about it, that I played those songs all the time. The one song I constantly still do play is Defying Gravity and Popular. I also still love Dancing Through Life. Those are like my three amazing songs from Wicked, because I love Wicked as a Broadway play is amazing. It's amazing. Gee. But that was it for reading material. Pretty much. So, we're going to win this because... Okay, we're going to do this. No, we were so close. We don't have no diamonds. Ray's getting mad at me. Ray's getting like really, really mad at me right now. But yes. So if you guys have like any like book I cannot get my thing I want to move. Book recommendations for me. If you guys want me to check any books out that you guys like, please let me know. I am always curious to find out about more literature out there. Different literature. I recently just got The Catcher in the Rye, and I'm excited to read that little thing, because it's one of those books that people are a little but by my experience, they're a little like worried to read it. But I think the books that people like warn you about are the best types of books out there, because that means you can learn so much about the writer and their philosophy and their ideas they're trying to pass or to get through to people. And I'm saying, just because a certain writer or a certain person believes and thinks this stuff, I believe that you should hear them out. But if you disagree with them, you have every right to disagree with them. In anything, we all have different philosophies and views and ideas, and everybody's not going to agree with you. You have the right to disagree with them. And I am all for with hearing out and respecting people with their belief systems and their philosophy. But the thing is I get upset with people when they don't hear people out and they flat out say, well, I disagree with you. And it's like, why do you disagree with me? You didn't even hear what I have to say yet. So yes, I'm excited for that book. I don't know if I want to use the other Lunar Anonymous yet. I just want to get the bottom one. Like, but what's this heart gonna do? This heart's not gonna do nothing. I'm just dying. I'm sorry. I didn't get this. But yeah, that's just what I truly believe. I could have just used that. I truly believe you should hear people out before jumping all over them. You don't have to agree with them. But I believe you have to hear them out and try to understand where they're coming from. You have every right to disagree with whatever you want to disagree with. You have every right to agree with who you want to agree with. I mean, we all have that, in my opinion, we all have that right and that freedom to do those things, to have those thoughts and those feelings. And I just want to finish this. I'm sorry. Okay, let's see if we can. There's a part of me that I just want this bottom like cleared. Okay, let's do this. I want it over. Thank you. Did we beat it now? Stage cleared. And we cleared it. Ooh, let's check. Rank. Oh, we're number 1. Cool, we're ranking up. I think before I let y'all go, we're gonna go check this little thing out. And then I'm gonna let y'all go. So, oh, look at all this stuff we got in here. We're gonna give it to Ray. Okay. We're gonna get the key. We're gonna get the ticket. Last day. I'm gonna receive it. I'm gonna take it now because it's the last day. We have 4 lives now. Collection. Wallpaper. We got 4 out of 9 now. Ooh, look at. We gonna need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 left. 5 left. And there was one last thing we were gonna. Okay, yeah, and trophies. We're gonna go to trophies. Check out the trophy. We're gonna receive all. You have 369 points. But yes, our next big one is 27. And 30 we have another clippy clip to watch. And we have a level up one. And then we have another challenge one. And then we have a new Sailor Scout. Who's that Sailor Scout? And then we have a little bit more, and then we get another Sailor Scout friend. Go a little longer, little longer, until we reach the tippy toppy turf up to the sky, where we go to our next map. So yes, I think I'm gonna call this video complete, done. Everything is hunky-dory, so I'm so sorry that this update video is kind of long, but these types of videos are probably going to end up being, any type of my videos are going to be long. What am I saying? I'm a rambler. I talk a lot, especially when there's things I feel passionate about and I want to share with people. And so with that in mind, I hope to like this video, and thank you all for watching this. Thank you for all of you who have watched it to the very end. I am very much grateful, and I'm very appreciative to all of you. Yeah, so the most common thing now these days, subscribe, like, visit me on my other social medias, which I hope that I will eventually get down in the doobly-doo blinky bar down below. I have Twitter and Instagram if you guys want to check those out. So yeah, until next time, in the name of the moon, I'll see you soon. Bye guys.